fears take flight. I'll be your strength, guiding through the night. And when the days are dark and heavy on your heart, I'll be the voice to guide you through the dim. Strong walls may crumble, but within you've got the spark. Just turn the key, let light dissolve the grim. Did you think you were alone in your feelings? Strike a match, let your inner strength be seen. Welcome to all things serious. In the depths of your despair, where demons roam, I'll be the hand to hold. You're never alone. When storms rage fierce and winds blow strong, I'll be the shelter in your soul where you belong. Welcome to all things serious.
Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing today? So, let me put a banner up real quick because I just want to talk about something serious. Yes, I've Rody Gal, how you doing? D-Band, how you doing? Manda, how you doing? Connie Corso's mom, how you doing? So I have been away for a little bit, and I've been searching for myself. About a week ago, a friend of mine passed away. I reached out to his brother, and they believe it was self-harm. There's still an open investigation, but they believe it was self-harm. And that did a number on me mentally, because I've known this individual for 10 plus years, and he knows I'm an advocate for mental health. And I wish he would have reached out to me. You know, and then I realized, I spoke to a person, and I explained to him the situation. And he said, sometimes it's going to happen, and you can't blame yourself. Sometimes it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You can't blame yourself. And he said, don't give up on what you do. Keep doing it. If that's your calling, keep doing it. And this happened Friday night. So, there's I'm going to share a little bit, okay? I'm not going to go in deep with it or anything like that, okay? I don't talk about politics and religion on this channel. But yesterday, I went to church. And I needed to. And I went to AA last week. And I needed to. Because I needed guidance. Sometimes in life, you need power outside of yourself. You need to find something higher than you to guide you. because you're not going to be able to do it alone. So that's the reason why I talk about, I don't talk about religion, and I won't. But when you go to AA meetings, they talk about this 12-step program, and I'm learning the 12-step program because I want to help people around me that are going through sobriety. I want to be able to spread my knowledge that I learn with other people. So I'm going to get an AA book, right? And I'm going to get permission from Alcoholics Anonymous to do, because I don't want to promote it without permission. And I'm going to reach out to them to see if I can do, like, one day do step 1 day do step 2, one day do step 3, one day do step 4. You know what I'm saying? So we can go along the steps together. Rosaline, how you doing? Margot, how you doing? Blissful, how you doing? Go along with the steps. And who knows, you might learn something, from it. Learn something about you. Who knows? I'm working on some other things. It's a slow process to make a change. And I'm thinking about getting, I talked to Rosaline. I'm looking at switching from a laptop to a PC. And they got these mini PCs. So if anybody here in chat or watches the replay, and you know about the mini PCs and how good they are, let me know. Because I'm looking at buying one. I'm also looking at Starlink, because I don't want to keep waiting 3-4 months for my internet to get better. So I'm thinking about purchasing Starlink because I need faster internet. I really do. I want to be able to edit videos and upload them really fast. Okay, Rosaline. All right. So that's what I want to do. Thank you, Rody Gal. I'm glad to be back too. So for the time being, I'm going to continue going live until I get faster internet. I'm just going to keep doing what I do and stick with it. I might be on later, certain times. I might be on earlier, certain times. My schedule is going to bounce around because since I left New Hampshire and moved to Florida, life has been different, sometimes hectic. So I'm there for a lot of people. I met a kid in my neighborhood that has opposition defiance disorder. So I've been helping him and his family. That's what I've been doing. So, it's when you know somebody's going through something and you have the capability of helping them, don't be afraid. Pay it forward. Because it'll come back to you. It will. It will come back to you. If you have a friend in need, I'm not talking about financially, emotionally. Somebody that needs a hug. Reach out and give it to them. Listen to their phone call. Just be there for them. Even if it's a stranger you meet out in public. What's up, Paul? How you doing? If you meet a stranger in public, don't be afraid to say hello. Not all of us are crazy. Not all of us. So, I've been finally got my insurance. Florida's weird than my state. Well, New Hampshire, where I used to live, it's different. So, Nana's Dragonfly, how you doing? But tomorrow, Emily Pickles, how you doing? So tomorrow, I don't know what I'm planning for tomorrow. I'm just gonna do Let's Talk episodes. Just let's talk. And then when I figure out a topic, that's when we'll start doing topics. I have a lot of things I want to talk about, so that's what I'm going to do, these Let's Talk episodes. And just get my thoughts out there. Because holding him in doesn't help at all. NorCal Jim, how you doing? Thank you for stopping in, brother. Hope you're doing well. And wish you luck on the soccer games. Hopefully they kick ass. So, woke up the other day. Anybody have sciatica issues? Put a 1 in chat if you know what I'm talking about when it comes to sciatica. Put a 1 in chat. because I'm going to tell you, I am a grown man. I got a high tolerance for pain, okay? But my sciatica flamed up. Oh, my word. That shit. I ended up in the hospital. I had to go to the hospital. It was too much. I went to get out of bed and I almost fell. And I'm 6'6". I'm well over 300 pounds. So man, if I would have fell, damn, they'd be calling 911. So now Monday I got to call and schedule with an orthopedic specialist, ortho, and get that looked at. Hopefully I don't need surgery. They got to do an MRI. We'll find out. So I'm trying to avoid surgery at all costs. So that's what I've been going through this past week. Lost a friend, back, you know, so I'll read this. I'll read this message. I sent to a friend. Okay. It was running through my thoughts. Just call me Hen. How you doing? Said, I'm an advocate for mental health, and I realize this mission I'm on is a rough one. I thought I could do it alone, but damn, was I wrong. I was ready to give up. And then I went to an AA meeting. And then I went to church. And someone told me not to give up because you're not alone. So that's what's been running through my head. So I've been wanting to give up. But then the thing is that if I give up, I'm a quitter. And I'm not a quitter. That's not in me. That's not in me to quit. So I had to find myself. So I did those things. And people reassured me that what I'm doing, you need to keep doing. Spread the message. I'm waiting. So one of the guys I met, he's on vacation. When he gets back, we're doing a live together. He's a therapist. He went to therapy before he became a therapist. Therapy was his calling. So, when I went to the AA meeting, I learned something. Is when, and it's probably the same way with NA, okay, is you're not going to be able to heal yourself until you sober up and face it, okay? So the guy made it crystal clear. He's like, when you come into an AA meeting or an NA meeting, it's because you want to quit. you want to sober up. The easy part is sobering up. The hard part is dealing with the trauma. And I never looked at it that way. Because a lot of us that are struggling with something, drinking, substance abuse, we do it to cope. A lot of us do it because we're afraid to face reality. It's not because we have an issue with it. It's because we're afraid to handle the problem, the situation. We're afraid to handle it. And I was like, that's interesting. I never looked at it that way. So, but he could have meant it something another way. But from what I took, that's what I took from it. Is that you got to sober up first and then face the trauma and deal with the trauma. So, but now that I'm done talking about me, I want to talk to you guys. How are you guys doing? How's your weekend? How was your week? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Don't all type it in and chat at once. That's awesome, Rosalie. That's awesome. So, that's awesome, NorCal. So, Emily Pickles, why? Why do you feel that way? Emily Pickles. Emily Pickles says, I feel like I'm not ever going to get better or back to living my life. What's going on? If you don't mind sharing. That's good to hear. Just call me in. That's good to hear. So, because when I read comments, I don't want to read between the lines because I might be wrong on reading between the lines. But All right, Rosaline, take care, my friend. So, Emily, got a question for you. Have you opened up about everything? So, what was your life like before? And the reason why, okay, I'm asking this question is because um, my past life, my previous life before I sobered up, um, got to be honest with you, I wasn't really. So my past life, I was antisocial unless I was intoxicated. Okay, when I was out in public, I had to be intoxicated. When I sobered up, is when my life started to live. When I sobered up. But change is very difficult. I know that all too well. Change is very difficult, but you have to adapt and overcome. And you don't have to do it alone. Okay? You don't have to do it alone. You don't. As an outsider, my email address is in the description below. You can always send me an email. We can always talk. I'll reach out to you. You know, life does throw us curveballs, fastballs, slow ones, bullets. You know, it's, are we going to risk that chance and go for the home run? Are we going to guess it's a ball or going to take a strike? It's all in how you live life. If you strike out, do it again. Because once you hit that home run, you're going to feel good about yourself. Yes, yes, just call me hen. You socializing without leave. Yes, but it's not the same as being in person. It's not the same. Because the thing is, right? Socialize like now if you're like video chatting with somebody, that's one thing, okay? But if you're like just text messaging back and forth, it's not the same. But if you're video chatting with somebody and have a conversation with them, that's a different story. You know, that's a different story. because you're getting personable with that person. It is just call me hen. It is the step to going back into the real world, yes. And you have been gradually taking those steps. So I'm going to open up the panel and see if anybody wants to come up. I'm going to open up the panel and see if anybody wants to come up. You're more than welcome. Come up on panel and hang out if you want to come up. Click the link. So because, you know, I love talking to strangers. I love giving strangers and people I've never met hugs. So, oh, we got a guest coming up on stage. And,
what's no, this is weird. I think you need to change the layout.
Hold on, let me fix it. Let me fix it.
Oh, now we're tiny.
Oh, that's too small. Hold on.
That's better.
There we go.
That's fine.
Oh my word. Yes.
Okay, Emily. I want to reach out to Emily because I probably understand her situation pretty well. I also shut down. The only thing I didn't shut down from was my friends online that I've made before I had a break, a mental break. And I'm still not back to normal, but I've adapted and I've learned that, you know, sometimes things get too much. Anxiety gets too much. People around you get too much. Even the people online get too much. It's not a beautiful voice, but I appreciate that.
That's the reason why men divorced me.
It is, yeah. I haven't divorced you. You haven't been online. Or have I just been missing you?
No, I haven't been online.
Okay. Don't do that to me. I'm feeling guilty. You made me feel guilty then. I'm like, what have I done? No, I've not seen you online. So I've found myself having to take more breaks more often lately. And then other weeks I'll want to do more online than I do. You know, it's ups and downs. Some weeks I don't want to talk to anyone. Other weeks I want to talk to people all the time. And that's part of my adaptation to what I was doing. I was working before COVID. I was working full time. I was running a community organization. I was acting. I was socializing at least once a month. And I mean, when I say socializing, I mean going out and getting drunk and dancing, you know, because that's how we socialize in the UK. I haven't done a lot of that since before COVID. But what I have done is started to make steps back into doing this, not necessarily exactly the same stuff, but adapting and not taking as much on my plate, but getting back out there slowly. So now every month I go out and I meet with people under the full moon. I don't know what Eddie's doing. Oh no, now we're giant. This is weird. You know.
There
And
we
I
go.
talk to them. I talk to people out in the public now every month. But it's not anywhere near to the level of stuff I was doing beforehand. But sometimes you just have to take these little steps. And sometimes you just don't feel like going out there. There is a couple of months where I've had to message and say, can someone else take control this week? I just can't do it. And the horrible thing is I lie to them. I'll say I'm not well. I've got a really bad migraine, which that's not the truth. It's just I just don't want to deal. I just don't want to leave my bed. And that's, you know, that's part of mental health, is some days you just don't want to deal. But on the good days, take them steps. Even if it is coming on a call, you don't have to do it publicly like this. You can have a Discord call or a Facebook call and talk to someone. Okay. But talking, like me and Eddie talk back. We're having a conversation. I can't conversation if you're not talking back.
So Emily, thank you for coming in here and talking.
Yes.
Because that's also healing too at the same time as talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's important.
I was very lucky. I had a really, really supportive group of friends online, not in real life. Really good, supportive group of friends when I had my breakdown. Because I wouldn't have got through it without them.
Beautiful lady, how you doing?
Is that Manda? Is that what it says, Manda?
Manda. She said stopping by to say hey.
Hey. And hello, Black Skies as well. But,
so,
well,
Black Skies, I apologize for not communicating with you. I've been in I've actually I stepped away from talking to people, you know, for like 2 weeks.
I noticed.
I stepped away from reaching out to people because I had a lot of stuff going on mentally that I had to get in check. I almost quit YouTube. Almost. I was getting near it. I was. And then I did a couple of things and it's changed. You know, it's changed. So
Eddie, did you do some reassessing and think, where do I want this to go?
Well, you know, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get my hands on better equipment, like cameras, right? So, like GoPros or whatever, not GoPros, but a camera that I can attach a mic to, like a chest camera that I can attach a mic to, you know, where I'm behind the camera, I'm the voice.
Yes.
That's interviewing people in front of me.
I get that.
Okay. So
face-to-face interviews.
Yes. So I want to give the people in front of me the platform to talk.
So,
You know,
but
go out
this
in public, have a microphone, and what is your take on mental health?
so this was sort of something you talked about doing before, because you said when you get your van, is it, up and running, you'd like to travel around and meet people and talk to them in real life.
That too.
Yes, but even just talking to people out in the street is a good idea. It is a good idea. So it is taking the channel in a slightly different direction to where it was. I also think something that you do, and it's great that you do it, but it also probably doesn't help you, is you take on everyone else's problems. And I used to do that.
And
Used to
I'm
do that a
working
lot.
on I'm working on a new logo. Um,
Mhm.
I'm revamping my merch store. I reached out to somebody that designs logos, a friend of mine, and I'm gonna make it a more manly logo. Um, so
He's basically saying all these women need to get out of my space.
well, I'm gonna still have the logo I have now. I'm gonna
I'm
keep
joking.
this one.
I'm joking, Eddie.
Yeah,
But your channel
but
was all.
I want to target men.
I was going to say your channel was always meant to be about targeting men, and
Yes.
us women have taken over.
Well,
Hello,
because
Ozzy.
women are, I hate to say it. All right, Black Skies. That's awesome. Hopefully we can figure things out. Because women are more in touch with their emotions. Women are
Yes.
more emotional.
Well, we're not told that we're not allowed to be emotional, Eddie. We're not
Correct.
told that you're not a man if you cry.
Yes, correct.
You know,
You
and
know,
that's the big problem.
I saw a stat the other day, and it really did a number on me. And it's affected me. It still bothers me. It was about a month ago. I saw a stat. It's talking about veterans.
Yeah.
22 veterans a day unalive themselves.
Yeah.
That doesn't include everybody else.
Mm.
Okay? 22 veterans a day.
Yeah. The unaliving yourself statistics for men is much higher than women, because women do talk. Women do go to their friends and say, I'm not dealing very well, I need help.
Yep.
I mean, not all of us, but some of us. Hello, TJ. Oh God, she's been listening to me 2 times speed. Poor her.
So, DJ, how you doing?
So, but yeah, one thing I would suggest to you, Eddie, because you've been having to take breaks on a more regular basis lately, is be there for people, but don't do it at the detriment to yourself.
Yeah.
Because taking on everyone else's problems, which actually makes you feel good. If you're dealing with other people's problems, you're not dealing with your own. But sometimes that comes and bites you in the butt.
Yep.
And I've had it happen to me. You know, you've been there as a friend, you've helped them, you've been there, someone they can talk to, and suddenly they turn on you and you're the most evil person in the world. And it's not fair. It's not fair, but it happens. And that's actually their problem, not yours. And I've learned to now, right, okay, I'll give you 1 chance. I'll give you 2 chances. 3rd chance, you're gone. Because I'm not being someone's punch bag. Because that's what you end up being. When someone is hurting, they take it out on the people they actually care about the most.
Bobby X, how you doing? And I
Yeah.
agree, and
Hmm.
I was the same way.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, Paulie.
Do you like the discussion salon?
Hey, Paul,
Oh.
you take care, my brother.
Hmm. So, but yeah, I do think, particularly in your country, it's not so bad in this country, but the macho thing is very prevalent in your country, and men are men, and they're not allowed to cry, and they've got to take care of the family, and sometimes they need a break. Sometimes they just need a break, and they need to be able to show their emotions.
Well, you know what's crazy, and I'm going to say this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is when we do, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I've noticed this because too many people advertise their relationships on social media,
Yes.
okay, and I've noticed this.
Mm-hmm.
When men get together, okay,
Mm-hmm.
they get together to escape.
Yeah.
They get together to talk.
Yeah, but they're not talking about the real things. They talk about football, and they're talking about hockey, and they're not talking about the actual things that really matter.
So what I do is create, like, I'm that guy that will be amongst a bunch of other men. I'm like, man, life sucks right now. Okay.
Yeah.
And I will talk about my issues amongst other men and see how they are. And if they're closed off and they don't care, or not really don't care. I can't say that. They're just not used to a man being in touch with their emotions and expressing them. Um, I try to make them feel comfortable to talk about theirs.
And
That's what I try to do.
how many of them actually open up?
A lot of them don't because they don't. And Kimmy, how you doing? So
It's the how you doing? I'm fine. You sure? Yeah, I'm fine.
So, but lately, I've noticed a lot of men have been slowly breaking out and crying out.
Can I ask Black Skies why you won't cry around people and you have to do it behind closed doors? It's a genuine question.
I know why.
I can guess why, but I want to know their answer.
Well, Black Skies, just know from me to you is that I do care. I do.
Occasionally, TJ, you do talk, but most of the time you do say moving on. Okay. And that's the problem. You've got to fight through that what you were taught, because I'm going to say he's doing it because he's ashamed of feeling his emotions, because he's got told that men don't cry.
Yep.
And that's what
Suck
I
it
thought
up,
it was.
Buttercup. Pull up your bootstraps.
Yeah. And that's what I thought it was. It was that he's ashamed of feeling emotions, which is horrible. Absolutely horrible. And you should never be ashamed of feeling emotions. And that's what we need to program into the world, that you're allowed to have emotions and you're allowed to feel sad and want to cry, because it's part of being a human, whether you're a man or a woman. It's part of being a human to have emotions and want to cry. So,
it's just expressing the emotions the right way.
well, you wouldn't be ashamed of laughing in public, would you? It's just another
Hell no.
emotion. Just another emotion.
You know, I watch. There's this guy I watch, right? And you never see his face. He walks into restaurants, right? And he'll buy 30 pizzas or 100 tacos or 40 hamburgers, right?
Yep.
And he'll feed the homeless.
Yeah.
Right? And you never see his face.
No.
And I respect that.
I watched one today, actually, similar sort of thing. This guy went into a florist and he asked how much the roses were.
And he bought 100 roses. Oh, no, 400.
Oh, yes, that's.
And he got 2 police officers to help pass them out.
Oh, I don't know if this one didn't. So this one went into a nursing home and passed them out himself.
I saw that one too. Yes. He gave them hugs.
Yeah, and gave them all hugs.
He was giving them to men and women.
Yep. There you go. But I just found that, and the stories that the old folks were telling him were just like so sad, but actually happy at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, they were just so grateful that someone cared enough to give them a flower. Simple flower. And the person he bought the flowers off was so grateful for him buying all them flowers, because she was a small business, you know, just struggling to get by every day.
Yo, DC, how you doing? So, I was, you know, I was, all right. I was watching a video of a guy blindfolded. And he had a sign in front of him. And it says, hug me if you're going through something today. You know, and just watching the interactions, he was blindfolded, so he didn't see the person.
No.
You know, but you saw the reaction.
Yeah.
But I watched this one video, and at the very beginning of it, the guy walked by him and was being very hateful, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other guy responded politely and said, I still love you. He didn't feed into the hate. So he continued doing his thing, and more people would go up and just get a hug, and they would break down, men, women. And I've always wanted to do that. Just stand out in public with a sign, do you need a hug? Mental health matters.
Do it. Do it. If you've got the confidence to go out and do it, do it. Takes a lot of confidence to do that, though.
But I'm wanting to do that because I love giving people hugs. I'm a hugger. That heart to heart, when you give somebody a hug and it's heart to heart, you can feel the energy. You can feel it. You don't realize it. But once you give that person the hug, you feel the energy. It transfers.
I never used to be a hugger. It's something I had to learn to do with the faith I've stepped into, because you don't get away with not hugging. But I've always been one of them ones I can sense when someone needs a hug. And
Yep.
I always ask permission. I always ask permission first, because some people don't like to be touched. So I say, can I give you a hug?
Yes.
And sometimes they say no, and other times they say, they just nod. They just nod. But hugging someone is healing. It really is. You're sharing your energy with them, which is healing. I actually have to step down because my dinner's ready.
I was having a conversation when I was up north and I was a bouncer. We were standing outside talking. It was a bunch of us men. We were outside talking. And this one man said, men don't hug each other.
Yeah, they do.
Hold on. It's funny. It's just hear this out, right? And his buddy standing next to him comes up to me and gives me a hug. Okay? And then as soon as that happened, his friend that said that men don't give each other hugs, I said, what did you say? Men don't hug each other? And I looked at him. I said, bring it in. Give me a hug. And we hugged each other, right? We gave each other a hug, right? Man hug, bear hug, right? And I said, wasn't that better? Don't you feel better?
I'm going to say, sports stars are always hugging each other. Your big butch football players are always hugging each other.
Yeah.
You know, it might be congratulations, but they're always hugging. It might be a quick one pat on the back, but it's a hug.
Yeah. You know, Black Skies, if I ever saw you in person and I gave you a hug, it would be a long enough hug to transfer energy to energy so you could feel it. So you could feel it.
Sometimes when someone says they don't like hugging, I say, can I hold your hands instead? And you just hold both hands and transfer the energy that way. I really do have to drop down though, because my dinner is ready, Eddie. So I'm gonna bid you all
it's about time for me to call it too, because I got some errands to run and stuff like that, you know. So yes,
Take
bikers always hug each other.
Yeah, they do.
You know.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.
Bye, Hen. Thank you for coming up. Bikers always hug each other. That's common. I've been into so many clubhouses. They don't shake hands, they hug. Even if you're not in the same club, they hug. But Emily Pickles, we love you. Black Skies, we love you. So, but send me an email, Emily, and we'll communicate. So, everybody, thank you for being here. I love you guys, and I mean it. Let's break that stigma together. And just remember, don't complicate life. You miss somebody, call them. Want to meet up? Invite them. Want to be understood? Explain. Have a question? Ask. Don't like something? Fix it. Like something? State it. Want something? Work for it. Love someone? Tell them. We could do this together. Don't complicate life. Let's break the stigma. All Things Serious is out, my friends.